Hello and what's up, my friends? Thunderbob here, and tonight we're going to be checking out Titan Quest 2. This was just dropped into early access surprise today. It was announced at the Ubisoft conference and just showed up on Steam, and I'm a big Titan Quest 1 fan. I haven't really covered it much on the channel, but when that released, I played a pretty good amount of that, and over the years I've jumped in, and it's not my favorite action RPG, but I like Titan Quest a lot. It does some very cool things. The way it does classes, in particular, I think is maybe my favorite aspect. And Titan Quest 2 embraces that. This just came out, though I did play the beta that was available briefly about 4 months ago. And what I found when I installed the early access version is I can actually continue my character. That was just the prologue. I played for about an hour. So we're going to pick up right where that last video ended with my level 6 Elementalist and see if I can remember how to play this character. And see how far we can get in tonight, maybe an hour or so, maybe longer, depending if I'm enjoying it. And this is early access. It still is a limited amount of content. From my understanding, it's like the first act of the game. I've heard, maybe getting up to like level 20 or so by the end of the early access area. And there's only 4 classes available. It's Storm, Earth, Warfare, and Rogue, essentially. And the way Titan Quest works is you get 2 masteries, and on this character I picked Storm and Earth. They seemed like the 2 kind of caster masteries, and combining them seemed kind of obvious. So you pick a main one, and then a couple of levels later you pick a secondary one, and those 2 combine basically to form your class, which is a very cool concept. Like thinking like Diablo. Imagine if you could pick like I'm a sorceress, and then you get to level 10, and then you could say I'm also a druid, and you get access to both of their passive and active abilities. I was kind of refreshing. I watched my video and was reading up on this while I was at work today, not working. Excited to come home and play this. So I was going with mostly like a lightning build, and I'm going to be playing around with this as we go. So you got your active skills on the left, your passives on the right for your 2 classes you picked. There's core abilities, which are like your barrier, your primary attacks. You can also invest points into. Got my Earth skills here. I really didn't put much into Earth yet. I was really enjoying like the lightning and the frost-based skills. I'm probably going to focus more on that. But I like some of the passives that were in the Earth. These passives also, when you reach certain thresholds, so like if you get to certain levels, you can then pick feats. So this, as I put points into it, just increases my spell damage and my cast speed. But then when I got to level 6, I could pick one of these 3, and I could actually turn this off, and I could pick another one: increased cast speed, increased ailment chance, increased skill, critical hit chance. So we're going to go with the critical hit chance. But as I get to 12 points, I can pick a second one. So all the passives had that, and then the actives have kind of a similar system. So this is Call Lightning. It basically calls like a big lightning bolt in a certain location that lasts for a certain amount of time, and then you have, as you put points into it, you have these modifiers which you can invest into, and like the one I was using was this one, which will make it repeat multiple times with a 1-second interval. So putting 2 points in that, now it'll cast multiple times. It will cast 3 times in total with a 1-second interval, but it does less damage. So it's like, well, I'm casting it 3 times, but each one's doing 30% less. You're still doing more damage in the end. So there's lots of ways to modify each skill. It reminds me a bit of like Diablo 3's rune system, but kind of on steroids. Yeah, each skill basically has ways to modify it. Each passive has different things you can select as you level up. There's also this attribute system, and this explains what each of the attributes mean. You're basically putting in points into agility, might, or knowledge, and this will impact like the kind of sub-categories. So putting points in knowledge will give you resolve and cunning, and if I come over here, cunning impacts lightning and poison, and resolve impacts fire and cold. So that's why I was putting points into knowledge, because my skills are primarily fire, lightning, and cold. It wouldn't really make sense for this build, to put points into might and agility, because that impacts fitness. Though might would impact resolve, and agility would impact cunning. But by putting points in knowledge, I am I'm putting points in both of those. There's also Vigor, which increases your health and also count towards all of the secondary. I think you get less points here on your secondaries than you do if you put them into, like, Knowledge. I need to test that out a little bit, but I believe that's how it worked. Yeah, so we're gonna just go ahead. The game basically just started me right where the prologue ended. So we're just gonna go and explore the beach like it says. Alright, so let's go explore. And just to show you, I've got this, it's running ultra-wide obviously if you're watching the video here, 3440 by 1440. DLSS is supported. I've got it set to quality with the transformer model on, which gives you a little bit better visuals, a little bit worse performance. I turned reflex off. I set the cap to 60 because I've got a 144 hertz monitor, but I was not getting much more than 60, so I thought it'd be better just to get a constant kind of frame pace than be bouncing all over the place. And then pretty much everything else I've got epic or high. I turned shadows down just a little bit because I was dropping below 60 just when I was testing this out, so I thought shadows are usually pretty demanding. Let's try that to start with. And there's that lightning hit multiple times. And I also mentioned I booted this up on the Steam Deck, and it seemed to work pretty well. I didn't play around with it too much. Like, I literally just booted it up and ran around this area for like a minute. And it seemed to work well. I've anecdotally seen some other people say kind of the same thing. This is an Unreal Engine 5 game, so it's pretty demanding. Like, it looks pretty good. If you like zoom in here, there's a lot of details on all the enemies, on the ground, on the environments, and all the items, and it looks pretty damn good. It reminds me a lot of, like, Diablo 4 is another, I think that is one of the best looking action RPG games. And this is definitely in that vein. I'm gonna die while I'm trying to explain things here. And yeah, let's see. What have I remembered from Titan Quest? Titan Quest was a pretty lengthy game. Like, that campaign, I want to say, was like 20 or 30 hours. Like, usually action RPG games, the campaigns are a little bit on the shorter end. Like Diablo 2, Diablo 3, Diablo 4, you can... Well, Diablo 4 is an exception. Diablo 4, you could play 60 hours on that campaign if you're not rushing through and you do side quests and stuff. But like Diablo 2, you could beat that campaign in like 2 hours if you focus on it. I think I've beaten normal difficulty in like 2 hours. It's usually the end game and the farming for items that ends up, you know, taking you a lot longer than that. So I'm curious how long this is. I know this is just the first act. Is it going to be that length? Is this going to be like a 10-hour act, or is Act 1 going to be, you know, 2 or 3 hours long? I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to be going. Like, I started here and I'm just kind of wandering around. Just says explore the beach. And I have a potion that just slowly regenerates. You also get a mana potion that kind of does the same thing. And then I have a barrier, which I can use, which creates a barrier around you that absorbs damage, decays over time, total is determined by your free barrier and energy barrier. Consumes 20 energy to gain a 212 barrier. So there's a couple ways that you can, you know, mitigate damage and heal yourself. I'm getting some stuff here. I should probably look at this. Early on, I don't really take that long. I need more might. So there are requirements on items where you need stats to utilize them. That's very old school. Not just levels, but actually you need a certain amount of might, or it's like Diablo 2 style. I actually kind of like that. Diablo 2 is my favorite action RPG of all time. If you are new to the channel, I've got like 150 videos all about Diablo 2. It's an awesome game. I also like Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 to varying degrees. I think Diablo 4, the base game is pretty good. Like the story, the action. It's the end game that they've kind of, over time they've gotten it better. At release, it was kind of in a bad spot. And I go back, like, when they released the first expansion, I went back, and then every couple of seasons I'll kind of check in and see what's going on, but I have trouble just playing that indefinitely. See if I can... You also have a, like a dodge. One thing, the movement speed feels pretty slow in this game. The pacing, like you're just kind of lumbering around, and I'm assuming you get some more movement abilities later, but early on, it does feel pretty dang slow. Okay, it looks like I need to go there. Follow the voice. This is also not made by the original developer of Titan Quest. Titan Quest came out in, I believe it was 06? Does that sound right? I'm going by memory here. I bought Titan Quest the day of release. I remember going into, I believe it was a Best Buy and getting a physical copy of it. Back in the day, we used to buy physical copies of games, and I think I still have it on my shelf. But it was made by Crate, who went on to make Grim Dawn. I think the expansions... There have been a couple of expansions more recently for Titan Quest, which is crazy because that's a almost 20-year-old game. But there's been a couple of expansions in the last couple of years for the game. And those were not made by that original developer. That original developer went on to make Grim Dawn, essentially, which is almost... It's Titan Quest. That, in some ways, is like the true... God, it looks really good. The true sequel to Titan Quest is kind of Grim Dawn, if you want to be pedantic about it. But that doesn't mean this can't be good. This is made by Grimlock, who made a game called Spellforge, which I played a little bit of. I don't think it's like an action RPG. It's more like a RTS RPG kind of hybrid thing. I remember some people really liked it. I didn't get into it really, but so there's a pedigree there. It's not just some new developer. They've done something tangentially related. So I'm kind of curious about this. Getting a little bit of hitching. Like, you can't see it. I've got the NVIDIA thing showing my frames per second. I'm getting 55 to 60 right now, so occasional drops. I might need to play around with those settings to get a consistent 60.
Ah, there. Thank the gods. Not just any talking horse. The talking horse that saved your life.
Yeah, there was a video. If you watch that, my last playthrough, in the end, there's like a horse that comes out of the water and saves your life.
You're welcome. Aristino charged me with helping you reach the Moirai and keeping you safe. A goddess is hunting you, and I had no idea how to reach the Moirai. At least Nemesis seems to think you're dead for now. That's some good news. Well, one step at a time. Let's find out where we are.
One of the things I like about Titan Quest is it takes place, you know, on Earth. Like, almost every action RPG I can think of is like some fictional, like, you know, Diablo is in Sanctuary, which is kind of an Earth-like place, but it's not Earth. It's its own history. Titan Quest brings in a lot of mythology, the Titans and the gods, and a lot of interesting background.
Perhaps there's a village further up this road.
And you visit, like, just a lot, you know, Egypt and Greece and Delphi and all these cool locations. I think that's one of the big draws of the game for me. Is this just anything over here? No. I feel like there should be, like, a chest or something. Is there something I should get over here? It's not very obvious that that's a clickable chest. Let's look at my skills real quick. I want to get enough points to do a third repetition, and I put the other point in Thunderstorm, so when I directly use the enemies in the radius, I have a 20% chance to be hit by a lightning strike. But if let's see if I put another point in there. I like that you can just change this on the fly, so I need, where do I see how many points I need? Rank 2 to 3 capacity per rank. So I need 2 of these. So when I get it to 9, I can put my third point in repetition. Is it worth it to do that? Because, so like the first one takes 2, the second one takes 2. I guess it's 2 per rank, so it doesn't go up the more. And I guess getting a third strike would be beneficial there. We're going to keep that 20% on for now. It seemed like the most useful. Some of this stuff like flow. Some abilities or modifiers generate flow. I don't think I have anything in my build right now generating that. There's also overwhelm. Both of these modify skills in different ways, and other skills can generate them. And then I get some passive points as well. And I was trying to look at this, so I want to get, if I get this to 6, I can unlock the mastery here. So we can choose increased ailment chance, spell damage, and so you get 30% more damage at a 10% increased cost, or I can get even more critical hit chance. We'll go with the damage, because I've already got the 30%. I've got a decent, and I'm hoping this can crit. Does it say anywhere? Active spell, area, lightning, exhaust. There's like a lot of modifiers. Calls lightning down, repeats. It doesn't say it can't crit. Okay, it does. 8% crit chance. Okay, so that is hopefully getting buffed by my crit bonus. 30%. It's not a small bonus either.
What happened here?
I do feel like the movement speed is a little bit slow. Like, I'm sure as you progress, you'll find like items. I forgot to pull this up. You'll find items that increase movement speed, but I haven't. There's another hitch right there.
How do we get roped into protecting this merchant again?
Drachme, remember?
Money.
Merchant.
Funny.
All right, I gotta sell some stuff. If you hold Alt, you can compare. Anything with an X, I'm just gonna sell because I can't use it at the moment, and I'll probably find better stuff before I can use it. Beast Whip and Ailment Chance. And Ailment Chance, I think your each of your spells, like cold damage, has a chance to freeze. Lightning Chance has a chance to electrify, if I remember right. Yeah, ailments. Ailments are negative effects that can be applied as stacks to enemies. There are 3 steps when applying an ailment attack. Each attack is an ailment chance. Define type, okay. Resist. So ailment effects. Shocked is caused by lightning image. It causes the target to receive a dot and have a chance of being disrupted when performing abilities. That's some good writing there. So it's a dot and disrupt their ability, their chance of being disrupted when performing abilities. Chilled, cold damage, and cause dot and be slowed. Plagued, a dot. Like, they're all just dots. Burning, cause a dot. Like, you'd think shock would have a chance to... I guess it does. It has a chance to disrupt them when performing abilities. But you'd think it would, like, zzz, and they can't move. But I guess that'd be a little overpowered. And burning is just a dot. Plague is just a dot. Bleeding. A lot of these are just... It's kind of... That's a little bit lazy. Oh, and I forgot, you also have this over here. So you get, like... Every time you level up, I gotta remember this, you get so many active points, so many passive points, and then divinity points. So you're actually putting points into... either Storm or Earth, and that's what unlocks like the next row of skills. So I've been kind of focusing on this, and then I think you can also respec. Yeah, it's just a gold cost. Refund all is free right now. So if I wanted to go in, and I'm not going to do that right now in the video, but I might look at my skills all later and play around with this. I find it hard to like commit to this when this is a limited beta. Like spend a lot of time worrying about it. Wait, so I should be able to... Oops, no. Okay, so now it repeats 3 times. Oh, but it increases the energy cost more, so it's 50 now. But it'll cast 3 times. That's probably better than a 20% chance. What is the... So it goes up. At the... Is that the max level? Yeah. So at the max level here... It's a 40% chance to cast a lightning strike. We're gonna go with the repetition now, but that sounds like it'll be fun as like the next one. They sell everything. Let's see. Energy regeneration versus health regen. I probably want the health. I haven't had a trouble with cast speed, vigor. Okay. Oops. You have to hold shift. Okay. Let's keep moving. Let us keep moving. Moving on up to the grease side. There. It's so far, like, at a glance, this feels very much
Say
Titan
only
Quest.
a god can open the temple of the Moirai. So first, we have to find a god, and then we have to find the Moirai temple.
To like the point where
I wish Aristocrat
if
were here.
it wasn't for the improved graphics, I would just say this feels like Titan Quest 1. Which is a good and a bad thing. Like, you want them to kind of respect the legacy of that game, but at the same time you want like them to evolve it also. Like, each game I feel like should respect what came before it, but also kind of bring its own identity and new ideas and themes, but especially it's a new developer. But at the same time, my favorite game of all time is like Diablo 2, so I'm kind of an old school player at times. But I've replayed that game a lot over the last couple years. That was like the perfect game at a very specific time in my life. You know, high school, like so much time in the afternoons. You know, I didn't have a lot of money, so it's like you get a game for Christmas and your birthday. You might get like 4 games a year. And now, you know, I have like 1,500 Steam games, like through Humble Bundles and all kinds of... Why is that not hitting them? I have a deluge of options for what I want to play. And just not enough time. And like, I'm playing Diablo 2, and it's like, oh, to improve this build, I need to make a grief. And then I'm thinking, alright, either I'm going to trade, which I generally don't like to do. I'm mostly solo self-pound when I play these games. But it's essentially like, okay, I'm either going to farm Travancore for 40 hours to complete this character, or I could pick up a new game. Like, that's kind of where I'm at in my life, where it's like, I have maybe 10 hours a week to play games. And I have to, like, make decisions what I'm going to do with my time. I feel like I might not be powerful enough. Ay, ay, ay. Getting murdered. I had to hit my shield there. It's because I was standing in that lightning. I kind of got trapped. I gotta remember I have this dodge thing. And then I forgot I have the Storm Nimbus. It's an aura with an 18 meter radius, or grants you and allies 20% increased cold damage, or grants you and allies 20% increased lightning damage. And it has a energy reserve cost, so I just need to keep that up. I don't know why I didn't have it on. I wasn't thinking about it. That's where I'm at in life. So, like, I've been... A lot of time when I'm going to play a new game, I do the how long to beat thing. Looks like I missed something up here. And I go like, okay, this game is 70 hours long. Is it worth 70 hours of my time? Like, I picked up Final Fantasy Rebirth a while back. I played the first remake and kind of liked it, but it wasn't perfect. I'm curious. I want to see where they go with it. And I'm looking. This is like a 60, 70 hour game. The first one was like 30 hours. The original Final Fantasy VII is like a 30-hour game. So we're up to like 100 hours already on a 30-hour game remake. And then I'm like, well, there's a lot of other games I've been wanting to play or replay. One of them is like the Resident Evil series. And I was weighing it. I could play through almost the entire Resident Evil series in the time it would take me to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And this is kind of like, okay, which of these two things would I rather do? Do I want to beat an entire series of games, one of my favorite series of all time, or play the RPG. Like, all right, I'm gonna do the entire Resident Evil series, and I don't really regret it. Replaying that was a lot of fun. I got reviews on the channel for all of those if you're interested. But my time is much more precious these days, so a lot of these games I'll play and I'll get into the end game, but I am not like making a perfect build. I'm not doing. I used to. This channel started actually partially as like a Diablo 2 channel. I was doing lots of videos on Diablo 2 and guides and walkthroughs. And after a while, I just wasn't having fun. So I kind of just... This channel is now whatever I'm playing at the moment. And if you enjoy it, cool. If not, it's kind of just a record of what I'm playing, what I'm doing. And cool if you liked it. If not, there's other channels out there. But if you're watching, I do appreciate it. Where was I? We're playing Titan Quest, right? It's enough rambling on. This is why I don't do as many live, recorded live sessions like this. I usually do, like, scripts and I think it out more. Where does it want me to go? Like, I feel like I cleared all this area. I'm enjoying this, though. It's definitely scratching that Titan Quest itch. Let's see, I got some more points here. That's damage and speed versus damage and energy. And I got 2 more points. I kind of want to get to this last tier of abilities to check them out, and then I'll probably respec and check out Earth more. Let's see, I want to, if I can put a couple points in. You know, I just realized, I don't think it carried over all of my modifiers. So if I level this up, 35 cold damage, chance to freeze, and then that's the Nimbus one. Okay, so it did bring that over. Or grants you an abilities 2 lightning weapon damage, grants 100% when converted to lightning damage. So if I put more points in here, it's not actually changing the ability, is it? It's I forgot I can't just take those out. So I need 1 more point. I was trying to get it to where I could bump that up. So less energy reservation, additional 8% increased cold and lightning damage. Sure. See, some of this stuff I'm a little... So this grants you 100% weapon damage converted to lightning damage. Is that only when I'm attacking with melee? The way I read it, it's not, but I thought weapon damage impacted your spells, too. I don't know. Like, this is doing... It's a fire damage staff. Is this impacting my lightning spells? Like, if I equip this instead... And also, like, if I just right-click, it's my primary attack, and it's now doing lightning, obviously. If I equip this one, it's doing cold. And fire. So I'm going to go with the lightning, because that's kind of what I'm focusing on here. Let's see. Dodge recovery rate. Okay. Let's see if we can get the hell out of here. I'm just noticing my performance is down to like 45 FPS. Definitely have to mess around with some settings here. It's Unreal 5, which is not the best performing engine. Like, it looks amazing. Some of those games look so good, but you really have to work on optimizing. See, it's still showing... I should look for a village so I can find out how to reach Moira Temple. But there's no village in the circle. So do I just... And then also, I guess I could have gone out that way. It's all, like, very open. And if I remember right, Titan Quest does not The enemies don't respawn, though I think there is some way to make them respawn. So I think, like, you're kind of just clearing this, and eventually you could clear the whole map, presumably. Ow. That poison. Oh, what the? I was hitting D. Hitting the D. No homo. And it sent me way back there. Why did it send me there? Didn't I found the waypoint way over there. Alright, I paused there for a minute. I was going through all the settings. Like, my frames per second was dropping to like 30. Don't really understand why. And I came in here and, like, I messed with the DLS, messed with the frame cap. Eventually, I just came in here and I put everything down to medium. And now I'm getting 60 FPS again. I don't know if there's like a memory leak or what. I mean, I'm not rocking a brand new system. I'm rocking a 3080 and a 10700K. Should be enough for this type of game typically, and it looks good, but I'm not gonna say it's like cyberpunk or something. And look, that hitching still, I've got it on medium, but DLS set balanced, and it's still, you're getting 60 pretty constant now. I don't know if there's just some graphical element I was near. Let's see if I walk back over here. Does it dip again? Like, there's nothing on the screen that should be that demanding. Hitching again there. And I'm not playing the multiplayer branch. When you boot it up, you can play either like the normal branch or there's like an experimental multiplayer branch. And I'm not playing that. Curious. It's just not the greatest performance, even dropping the settings down. I've just been thinking I need a new computer too. So, definitely a little more demand. Like, it ran better on the Steam Deck, which, you know, was running at a very low resolution and stuff. But from the little bit I played on the Steam Deck, it seemed to be running better. Yeah, so I'm probably about 30 minutes in here. I haven't really progressed much, but maybe I'll cut this to about an hour tonight. I'm still enjoying it. And I gotta keep in mind, it is early access.
Now, who by the ghost of shipwrecked Odysseus are you? On second thought, never mind. Grab that lever. We need to destroy this breach.
Grab that lever.
Just try to cross now, scaly vermin.
I wonder if it might be, I've got the 10 gigabit 3080, and I found there's some games that you start using up all that memory.
I hope you don't bring more trouble to our... Oh, but this sorry place. You're on the outskirts of Pyrgos.
Pyrgos village? Could it be? The god Glaukos has a temple near here. He's an old friend of mine. He can help us reach the Moirai.
Cool.
Great dam. Glaukos ordered the Cyclopes to build
get
it
up
for
there?
the people here ages ago. The Ichthians broke through a few weeks ago. The floodwaters were merciless. The Ichthians, too. Not even the god could stop them. Pyrgos would have fallen, too, if it weren't on high ground.
No, the Glaukos I knew would never allow it.
That's how you get over there. I haven't really found anything like some magical items. But a potion that cleanses, that's interesting, because I thought potions were just like automatic. They just like equip. Okay. Is that a one-time use? Where's level 5? Let's see if I I think it just builds up as you're playing. So that's cool. You must be able to find new potions and they just kind of fill that slot. Interesting. I kind of like that. Like the old Diablo, the early Diablo style where you use a potion and you're constantly just having to refill. I feel like we're a little bit beyond that. I prefer potions with like a cooldown or some kind of mechanic where you're refilling them through gameplay rather than like every 10 minutes I go back to town and fill up my potions. I get had its place in time,
No,
Diablo 2,
There
but
must be some mistake.
the voice acting's pretty good too.
After I became trapped in this charm, Glaukos was as true a friend as you could want. He gave me to Aristino because I asked him to. I needed to feel useful.
I'm also kind of like debating how much time I want to put into this being early access and such a limited amount of content. Like, do I want to invest 20 hours into this that is probably going to be very different in 6 months or a year?
I don't think she'll do well as thank you.
Like, there's some games like Hades 2 early access. That's the kind of game that just felt perfect right from the get-go. That just all the content wasn't there, and they've improved it still, but it felt so good right from the moment I played the early access. So like every time they've dropped an update, I put another 10 hours into it, beat the boss, you know, do the new stuff. But I don't know if I want to invest my time here or just like in a year when it's further along. They've got the full story in place, or maybe 2 years. It's kind of crazy. Like, they announced this game a long time ago, and there's only one act available and only 4 classes. It does feel like, what have you guys been doing for 4 years? Maybe it's not 4 years. What have you been doing for a long-ass time? But games take a lot longer to produce these days, too, so it's kind of par for the course. But 4 classes is very... I think, if I remember, Titan Quest 1 was at 9 or 12 classes, and I think there's one expansion from the original developer, and I want to say that added one more class, but when you think about it, you could take that class and add it to any of the other, you know, almost dozen available classes. One new class ends up adding a whole lot to the game because it can be combined with any of the other classes. And just think about like how much effort it takes to make all that balance work. It's not just one class, it's how it impacts every other class as well. It's kind of crazy. What is that? Are those bugs? Yeah, those are bugs. It's interesting. Like, that looks pretty dang good. Like, every single rock, like an individual texture. It looks good. The only thing, I think the character models are a little weak. Like, Diablo 4 has really great character models. I feel like the backgrounds and the world looks really good. I think the character models not as good.
Have you ever dabbled in divine magic?
No. Ain't never dabbled. Alright, we're just gonna sell everything because I don't want to look at it. If it's X'd out, I still can't use it. I don't know if I should hold on to that potion. I got some quest items too. I didn't even notice there was a tab for that.
Gave most of my stuff.
I can get some rare items here, which I could actually afford some of this stuff. I'm enjoying it. I'll probably play just a few more minutes, but like, initial thoughts, only 4 character classes is really limiting. And then each character class only has, what is this, 8 abilities. Like this top one's locked. I don't know if I can get that coming soon, so no. But even with that, you know, there's not a lot of abilities, and then you get more passives than abilities. It feels, remembering the skill tree from Titan Quest 1, there's just way more in Titan Quest 1. Obviously, that's a full game that's been out, but you're limited to 4 classes. Each class has fewer components to it. I don't know if I like the attribute system yet. It's intriguing. We'll see how it goes, but and then you got kind of like the poor performance here. The limit to 1 act. I'm kind of thinking I might end up waiting to put a lot of time into this until you know, sometime down the road, maybe the next big patch, but I don't know. I also want to play this more on the Steam Deck, see if this is a good Steam Deck game.
The militia is all taught to Lycargos right.
Any word from Glaukos' temple?
None.
Let me guess. You were some... You're not reaching anywhere. But I won't risk the lives of, can you?
Defeat the alien
Be
brute.
careful on the northern road. One attack me, but something's driven him into a frenzy.
Alright, I'm picking up some quests here. Gotta defeat the brute. Oh, I was out of that. That was it. Now you're gonna let me use your elevator.
That technique, Aristano. Not congratulations.
Sir, a message from Glaukos.
Damn it. As you can see, we're losing ground.
The Temple of Glaukos. How? Old friend, where
It's
are
over
you?
here.
We should go there at once.
Did I level up? No. I also feel like the gameplay is a little slow. Movement speed in particular just feels I'm at like a glacial pace here, and not having, like Diablo 4 has the mounts and stuff. So many games have ways to speed yourself up. But even this little sprint thing here is pretty limited. And attack speed, like your basic attack, just like very, very slow. Rituals. Choose from these options. Refund all invested attribute points. Cost various amounts of gold. Can't I do that from the interface? Or maybe that's only mastery. Increase or decrease difficulty. Elevate minimum enemy level. Respawn enemies. Yeah, so this is... I saw someone talk about this. So this is... You can increase the difficulty at a cost of gold. That's interesting. Elevate enemy levels in the previous area. And respawn enemies in the area. So, I'm not going to spend anything right now, but that's interesting that that's there. I think that is maybe like when you say you beat all of Act 1, maybe that's like the compromise. There's no end game yet, but you can just keep making the enemies harder and harder. Keep you leveling up kind of deal. That seems like that's probably the purpose of that. And I wonder in the end game, it's going to be very
Can't
different.
let you pass. Ah, right.
You may pass.
You may pass. You shall not pass.
We were fishing at this. Everyone's. Thank you.
I'm just picking up all the quests here. I wish there was a symbol or something
Everything is full.
on the mini-map. Like, I'm not seeing a symbol for the side quest givers. The flooded farmland, that sounds cool.
Another Ichthian smoke signal. They're coming for the elevator. Cover the warrior beside you. Beat the monsters back.
Definitely seems that the skill system
Ares, give me
is encouraging you to kind of focus on just a few skills rather than branching out. Because, like, you get such a big bonus for those modifiers, and you needed to invest a lot of points to be able to get the modifiers. Kind of like that combo. You do the lightning, which repeats a couple times, and you use the frost to keep them in it. That lightning has kind of a weird radius, though. Feels at times like I should be hitting an enemy and they're just like not taking any damage. And again, it looks like that potion just automatically... That's like my new potion when I equipped it. So that's cool. It's an interesting system. Overall, like the look and feel and the sound and the music all feel pretty good. Like the production values are quite high. Some of these games come out and are just in a rough state. This all feels very, very reminiscent of the original game too. Like, remember day one just wandering around this giant world and exploring. Like, that guy should be getting hit by that, right? Should I go in the rocky fissure? Oh, too tight for a human to squeeze through. Maybe I should invest in some might, because I can't use any of this stuff. I guess this may not be... Let's see. So it says 362. If I... Okay, so it is... It looks like it's going up based on my weapon. So your weapon must play a part there. And I don't have this... Let's see. If I turn this on... Right, so that's Storm Nimbus. Wait. Okay, now it's off. 317. Okay, it's still impacted. If I turn that on... 362... Yeah. So it's definitely your weapon does impact your spell damage. These guys are doing a lot of damage. Some more skill points. I guess I could put some... So if you put one into Vigor... It gives you 2 points in those and everything. If I put a point here, it gives me 3. That's the difference. It takes some points away from 1 to get to that level 12 ability. Let's look at these higher level passives. I feel like I'm never going to get to that next tier. Increased lightning, increased cold, which is actually a bigger bonus. This is only giving me like 3 right now. Shock chance and chill chance, increased shock and chill. Projectile. I don't know what... I'd have to look at the descriptors on each skill, but... Alright, we're going to put a point here. The thing is, I need to get up to 6 to get to the passive. And I was trying to get enough points. What did I need? Okay, so now I'm getting 60% increased cold and lightning damage from that. I still had 1 more point, didn't I? I should probably play around more with ice shards. I think I did in the beta and didn't love it, but it might be an interesting change from lightning. I should probably respec and Probably take me too long to do it, but... So it turns into a cone, does more damage, higher freeze chance. Base ailment chance. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty big boost to freezing. +1 cooldown charges. Does that mean you could carry 2 charges at a time? Let's see if that freezes them more. Am I using all of my... See, I had some of these. Alright, one more, yeah, I've got all my points in there. Okay, I think I'm using all my points. I don't know if I need to invest more points in Vigor, but I am very squishy. That's weird. I was not targeting over there. It's like I'm highlighting the dude, but it decides like to just go somewhere else. Got a rare, which I can't really use.
Hi.
Alright, so let's see what it wants me to do here. Okay, I clicked the button and nothing seems to be happening. Continue. Oh, there's an empty spot where... Did I get a... Is there a quest item? I don't... Maybe I need to go find something. Nope. There was like that one enemy that... Okay, probably that guy.
Nice heart.
Is that Golem?
Best friend. Name you. We thank.
Okay. Now can I do it? Or I guess I gotta find something to put here. I don't know what. Where a pole or staff seems to have once stood. Let's see. That's it. No. I don't see any way to... Okay. We'll come back to that. Now where does it want me to go? Probably be ending this in just a minute. Probably about the hour mark here. I missed.
Damn those Ichthyians.
There's the thing.
Hello. We're all done. Are you?
A piece of a statue of Glaukos. If we find the other pieces and repair it, the locals will probably appreciate it.
So, if I put this thing in there, is it gonna work? Or do I need to find what he said the other pieces? Let's go see.
I need to wait.
Yeah, I'm guessing I have to fix it. Okay. You need to go that way. It's a cool looking area. Performance is better. Maybe it was just that previous area that was problematic. Damage is getting better too. My health still goes down very fast. Can't die to a crab. That poison is annoying. I need to find a way to make the radius on that attack bigger. Like a lot of spots on my map now to go explore. Sometimes I can't tell what is killing me, like I'm getting murdered by something. Like the guy casting, but there's not like an animation of it hitting me. There again, I was highlighted over the enemy, and my spell just went like behind him. That's a weird issue. These guys are getting higher. I don't know if I'm pushing too far ahead. These guys are 3 levels ahead of me. Maybe that's why I'm dying. Glad I didn't make the enemies even higher level. Kind of reminds me of like a Fist of the Heavens build from Diablo 2, where you could like really target. It's just not hitting. Sometimes it feels less reliable. Oh, I'm gonna die. I died. It's gonna send me all the way back. I don't know if I missed some stuff. Like, where's my body? Am I at the closest? There really wasn't a waypoint I found all the way over there. Well, that might be a good spot to end for now. I wanted to just share like the first hour with it. I'm gonna play around with this more on the Steam Deck and get more of a feel for it. But I'm intrigued by it so far. It's only $23 right now if you get it during this early release period. One act, maybe, I don't know. Seems like it's probably 10 hours content or something. Feels a little bit too slow. The movement speed, the attack speed could be higher. Some issues with targeting. I don't know if it's just limited to this specific ability or what, but there are times where I'm like casting and like it kind of seems to cast behind where I'm pointing. Yeah, performance could be a little better. I'm getting 60 right now, but just randomly I've been getting some drops all the way down to 30 and hitching like... Alright, well I'm going to end it there. Right as I was demonstrating the hitching and lag I was getting, my whole game crashed and actually crashed my whole computer, which is weird. I haven't had that happen in a long time. So, performance could be a little better, and it's early access obviously, so some bugs. I had at least one crash now. Some weird targeting stuff. We'll end it there. I think I'm going to kind of keep an eye on this and maybe play it more as the early access progresses. I'll check this out on the Steam Deck, maybe do a Steam Deck video on it, but I'm gonna end it for tonight. If you got any questions, comments, drop me a message below, and thank you for watching. Have a good night.